Welcome to the Indie Horror Junkie podcast. Tonight, you will be joining Rotting Ricky and Asylum Amy as they play host to some of the true movers and shakers in the indie horror scene. So lock your doors, check under the bed, and get comfortable, because here we go.
And I'm Sylvia Saska, and we're the Saska Sisters, and this is Indie Horror Junkie! Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
We're a panic attack!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Woo! Indie Horror Junkies!
Indie Horror Junkie! Indie Horror Junkie!
Good evening, Junkies. Rotting Ricky D and Asylum Amy. We are show number 67 tonight. That's crazy, right? I feel like we're going to blink
68.
100. 68?
Wow.
Ugh, I'm off.
So
Well, that's
crazy.
what I get for missing last week. Happy New Year, everybody. I haven't seen you since before the holidays. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season, a great Happy New Year, and we are kicking off 2025 with a bang. We have a lot to go over. Hello, Molly Zombie. So let's jump into it. There's a lot going on. We just dropped issue number 14 of the magazine featuring Screamboat, which features, you know him well, David Howard Thornton as Screamboat Willie himself. We have some exclusive, never before seen photos until this magazine dropped on the 13th. And you can get your physical copy or your digital copy at indiehorrorjunkie.com. These have been going out like crazy. We sent a lot over to Days of the Dead this weekend, which actually Scarecrow is one of our sponsors, is going to be there. Joe Lam, he has a big article in there for the Fetus. He's going to be headed there, and they are having their first screening of Screamboat for the fans, and then we'll see them in February for MegaCon. We'll get into that soon. What else we got? Let's just hop into MegaCon. MegaCon is coming up February, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. And we're going to be there on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have tons of films, 25 films. Indie Horror Junkie selected both feature films and short films. Tons of submissions that came in this year. We had an incredible panel of judges to watch every single film. We were able to give personal feedback on each film, and we have a fun weekend planned of indie horror movies. There we go. The 2025 official selections of the Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest at MegaCon Orlando. Huge event. We also have some special screenings on Friday night. We have a special screening of Mutilator 2. This is a spinoff of the original 80s indie horror slasher, The Mutilator. And we have special guest Buddy Cooper, who is writer, director, producer of the original and the second. We have Ruth Martinez, Bill Hitchcock, both the original cast, also in part 2. And then we have some newbies, Carl J. Grasso and Dan Grogan. So we are excited to have these guys in the house Friday night, premiering the film with the fans and a special panel Q&A afterwards. On Saturday, we are featuring The Inn, which is a locally produced indie horror slasher. We're all about the slashers this year.
Oh, yeah.
Great group of people. Again, we're going to be screening this actually for the first time with the audience. So interested to see the feedback on this. We filmed this in Central Florida, Dunedin actually, in 2023. And we're going to have Brandon there, who plays the Sandman, the writer, the director, the special effects artist. Just a fun horror comedy slasher. So that's going to happen Saturday. And then our huge event is a special fan screening of Screamboat. That will be Saturday evening. We have the lead actors, the creators, the producers coming. We have Alison Patel, Martine Malal. She's one of the producers. Stephen Lamorte, Amy Lamorte. They're the creators of this. And of course, everyone knows David Howard Thornton, who is going to be playing Willie himself. And this is produced by our friends at Fuzz on the Lens. So it's going to be a packed house of really just indie horror, up and coming, I can't even say up and coming anymore. You guys know what they do. They do Terrifier. They do Stream. They're just hot and you can't stop them. So come out to MegaCon, see the Junkies, and see all of these incredible filmmakers and actors and writers, directors, producers. It's great networking, lots of great films. And then you hit the main floor and you go check out all the vendors and the Artist Alley and the comic books. And speaking of Artist Alley and comic books, I have here... from our guest last week. This is from Lou Russo, and he's created this incredible horror shorts magazine right here. This is issue number 2. You can go to mcbookpublishing.com and get your copy. And if you missed the show last week, go back and check it out because he's a really cool artist. And Rick is going to be contributing to the next issue. So we will be showing some of that soon. What else do we got here? MegaCon, let's go back. We have a special guest that we're honoring, Mr. Joe Castro. You all know him. You love him, the legendary special effects artist. And we are going to be presenting with him with the 2025 Lifetime Achievement Award. He has more than earned this over his decade working in indie horror. He was relevant then. He's relevant now. His name is everything indie horror, and he's just so talented, and he is very open and willing to share all of his ideas and creations behind the special effects. So actually Sunday at 12:30 by our theater, he is going to be doing a live special effects demonstration for us. So if you're there, please come by and check this out. This is a really cool opportunity, not only to meet him, but to watch him work live. You just don't get that all the time. So definitely come and swing by and check us out all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just get your tails there. This weekend, we're going to be headed over to OCC Roadhouse in Clearwater, Florida. So come see the Junkies at this year's first show of Tampa Bay Screams. And we are excited to be back. This is the second year the Junkies are going back as special guests. We're going to have our magazines. You showed the Blu-ray already, didn't you?
Not yet, but I will momentarily.
We'll show that next. We're going to have our magazines. We're going to have every single current issue, back issue 1 through 14. We're going to have our shirts, our indie horror junkie shirts there. Lots of merch. Our nightmare collections that we've done so far are going to be available. And just come and hang out. It's great networking, and there's a lot of really cool well-known legendary indie horror filmmakers and artists that are going to be there. These are our shirts for MegaCon. We've already kind of cut off the pre-order, but you can hit us up anyways if you want. These are going to be at the film festival. We'll be shipping some out if there's any left over, but definitely check out this really cool design. And again, tons of merch, tons of shirts. And how about that Blu-ray?
What Blu-ray are we talking about?
The Clock.
Oh, you mean this one right here? Yep.
So we finally got our Blu-ray from our distributors. You guys can tell it's been a long day. Our distributors, Bayview Entertainment, we love them. They're huge supporters of not only the indie horror genre, but the Junkies and The Clock, which is locally produced as well, has lots of familiar faces in it. You can check that out also on streaming. It's hit several platforms at this point. It's on Plex, Amazon Prime, Chilling, Voodoo. So hop on, check it out. I don't know if I missed anything. There's just so much happening. So I had to write it all down this time. I can't keep it straight. 2025 is definitely busy. So
If you,
grab that. Oh, another screening that we're going to have is something we've been working on is The Turning. It's a short film that we shot here recently. We're going to be premiering that as well at MegaCon. We're going to have a lot of the cast there as well, and the crew and the director of photography. This is something that Rick wrote and we co-produced and co-directed together. We're really proud of this. The acting was amazing. The cast and crew as a whole were just incredible to work with, and the whole experience was unforgettable. So it was our last project of 2024, and it was a great way to end the year. So exciting to premiere that in 2025, February at MegaCon.
and what I was going to say here about the Clock Blu-ray, obviously you can see the movie itself on some of the streaming channels, but if you buy a copy of the Blu-ray, it's got a couple of really cool bonus features. It's got audio commentary from myself and the editor and special makeup effects and DP, Salo Zayas. And it also has what I'm really proud of, a really cool bonus feature on what the clock was actually inspired by, which is an old-time radio show called Hickory Dickory Doom. So I tell you about it, show you all the details, and you get to hear the Hickory Dickory Doom radio show in its entirety.
I love that.
Good stuff.
So lots going on. We do have a guest tonight that is going to, I believe, be rescheduled. Is that correct, Rick? Let's double check.
I am not sure.
So we may end up having to reschedule this
face,
guest,
so I'm going to reply to him right now, telling him that we're on.
Either way,
yes.
If we have to reschedule, no big deal. But our guest, Joe Lam, he is the writer, director, producer of the upcoming horror feature film, The Fetus, featuring Bo Mosley, Lauren Lavera, and Julian Curtis. We're very excited to get into this and show you the trailer, but that might have to be a later date, Rick.
Yeah, well, I can show you a couple things that we do have here right now, because once Joe does join us, which I'm assuming he will here, probably just... Yes, we have a giveaway where we're going to be giving away a signed movie poster. Joe's going to pick the winner of that, and this is the beautiful poster featuring Lauren Lavera on it. So he'll be giving that away, as well as that and a signed copy of issue number 14. So we're just waiting for him to join us.
Featured article about the Fetus film in there. So again, check it out, you guys. IndieHorrorJunkie.com. Get your physical copy, your digital copy, and Rick's going to pull it up right now.
Well, since I have it in hand, may as well show it to you. So we've got the Fetus there.
There we go. And you guys all know Lauren Lavera from the Terrifier franchise. She plays Sienna, and we love her. She's a phenomenal actress, definitely breaking barriers as an indie horror actress. And she's definitely earned her title of Final Girl. So proud of her, proud to see what she's accomplished, over the years and what she's accomplishing this year. So we're looking forward to this film. Once you guys see the trailer, we'll have to show it the next time we have Joe on, but definitely a different role than you've seen her in, but a lot of fun. I'm excited to see the whole film.
Yeah, he's it looks like Lou lost the link, so I am sending it to him again right now.
Oh, you mean Joe?
Joe, yes, I'm sorry. I was thinking about Lou from the magazine you just showed.
Lou. That's okay. So we'll hold for Joe. That's great. I'm glad he can come on, because I want to talk about everything The Fetus. I've been excited about this show.
As a matter of fact, we're going to have the trailer. As a matter of fact, that we're going to be able to show you here shortly, just before we bring him on. But let me send him the link here real quick while we're waiting for him. There we go. All right, just send it to him. He should be joining us momentarily. Modern technology, gotta love it.
I mean, hey, Andy's 3 hours behind us. What do you do? It's a live show. We're all real here, getting through the day, everybody. But it is exciting to be back on. I feel like it's been a really long time since I know we did our first show last week, but I couldn't be here for that. It's just nice to be back on with my junkie, Ron and Ricky, and hop into all these different events that we have coming up.
Absolutely. And we have a whole bunch of comments we got to get to as well, but Joe has joined us. So as we like to do, we show the trailer for you first, give you a little taste, and then we bring him on. So here right now is the trailer for The Fetus.
You're pregnant. That can't be right. He always wears a condom.
Oh, shit.
Have you been lying to me?
Whoa, wait a second.
Do you remember when I told you that my body doesn't work the same as everyone else's? By the way, I should tell you a few things about my dad. He's a bit particular.
I was more of a cat person.
Are you gay?
Well, I think your dad and I see eye to eye.
He doesn't really like anyone.
Oh, hey!
It's time.
Dad! No, Dad!
If we don't feed it, it will start sucking on her blood to survive.
You can't give birth to this thing.
Of course not! I've been freaking out since this morning.
I really thought you would grow up normal. You ain't family. You are the turd in the way.
Your mom really died giving birth to you?
It's
Hello,
Joe.
How you guys doing?
Welcome to the show.
Awesome. I love this, the opening of the show. You guys got all these fancy graphics going on and so much activity, like the magazines, the DVDs. I mean, I love it.
We're actually getting ready to revamp that because a lot of those pictures, actually all of those pictures were from MegaCon last year, which hard to believe that it's already been a year. So we already have ourselves tasked to take tons more pictures next month at MegaCon and have a whole new intro for you guys with everything that's going on. But let's get into The Fetus. We are so excited to have you on. Thank you. And you've been promoting the show like crazy. We have this awesome giveaway that you set up. We'll get into that later, but we're just ready to talk anything and everything indie horror with you. So tell us about The Fetus and give us the synopsis and some good things to know about this film to get us excited about it without any spoilers.
Yeah, of course. I can't stand spoilers. So yeah, I mean, it's really about a young couple. They have a unplanned pregnancy. You know, they're not fully committed. At least the guy is not. And they're trying to sort out what the heck is going on because it is not a normal pregnancy, as you can see from the trailer. And they just need to go to the girl's father and figure out what the heck is going on. And just craziness ensues after that. So, yeah.
And the father is played by Bill Moseley, you guys. How cool is that? Yay.
Yep.
And then we have lead actress Lauren Lavera, and we also have lead actor Jillian Curtis. So tell us about working with these actors. They all come with amazing backgrounds. They've definitely made name for themselves in the industry. What was it like casting them and working with them? Just kind of tell us a little bit about that whole experience.
Yeah, Bill was the first to sign on board. I mean, we were looking for someone who's more of a veteran actor who, had a following with them. And, he was top 3, just right off the gate, You
already knew.
Yeah, and I've seen him from way back, Night of the Living Dead, and you're talking Texas Chainsaw 2 and all that. So I kind of like had him in mind as well while I was writing it. So that always helps to picture someone like that, And then after we got him on board, then it was like Lauren was next and Julian followed. And Lauren, I mean, we went through 7,500 actresses.
Holy
wow.
To get her. But when she sent in her self-tape audition, it was like, wow. Because she was, I mean, everybody was great.
I've seen some of her self-tape auditions. She's a really talented actress. And she's, and self-taping as an actor, it's an art all in itself. The lighting, the setup, just how you use this little box that you're in to deliver the story and make yourself so undeniable. They're like, oh, I want her, I want him.
Yeah, she poured herself so much like through the camera that it was like, okay, that's it. That's Alessa. Like hands down. you know. So
Hey, Jeff.
I tell people like her performance in that is so good. I feel like I could literally take that self-tape audition, cut it into the movie, and nobody would notice.
I love that. Yeah, that just says a lot about the process of, and hey Bill, of the actor and behind the scenes, the whole process of actually just getting that role. It's you have to, you either self-submit or your agent submits you, and then you have to be invited to audition, and then they send you sides, and then you have a deadline to have them memorized and to deliver that performance that is authentic and grounded and believable, that you just capture, the casting directors and the directors and the showrunners to make them want to cast you. And there's so much that goes into it, obviously on the production side, but just in those beginning stages for the actors, they're already giving you a piece of them just to try to get your attention. So to be able to have an audition like that, I can only imagine how incredible it was, the energy on set when you finally get those actors together and they're feeding off of each other.
Yeah, and like you're saying, it's so important, the emotionality of it, because I mean, we're dealing with a subject that is very difficult. It's pregnancy, it's life-threatening in this instance. Not every pregnancy is, but this is not a normal pregnancy, like I said. And also we had to get someone who matched that kind of intensity, but also bring some humor to it, which is Julian Curtis. We narrowed down those actors down to 3 of them. And he was just able to understand my writing, because I write in a humorous way, that he was able to pick it up and run with it when needed, or get serious at times. So he could just switch back and forth like that.
That script down. James Michael Roddy in the
You can see a lot of comments out here. We got bombarded with comments. I'm trying to filter them in there so you can see, Joe.
Yeah,
A lot of people are eager to see this movie, and a lot of people love them some Lauren Lavera.
Yeah, so it sounds like obviously it's really intense, the subject matter and all of that, and then it just gets crazy, and then there's a fetus. But it sounds like that you enjoy that comedic undertone, which does give you that nice shift, and the actor can find those points as to, okay, we're serious, but this is also life, and life is funny even when it's not, and for an actor to be able to deliver that, it makes it even more authentic. So, but yeah, it's just, the cast I think is crazy, and it's a small cast, but it's so spot on. I mean, what more do you need? And whatever, I know that you sent some giveaways for the film festival, some the Fetus condoms. I hope they work better than the ones in the movie.
Well, the ones they are FDA approved, so yeah, you can be safe in knowing. I made sure that, because I was selecting different.
I have to sign like a consent form, like if you can win this bet.
This conversation
not responsible if you do get pregnant.
No liability. Yes. Oh my gosh! So this is coming out in 2025. Where are we going to be able to see this film?
We are literally right now negotiating with some of the biggest theater chains in the country, fun. And then some of the smaller ones as well. So we're in the midst of it. We are targeting March, early March, and it looks like we're going to sign pretty soon, because they see that we have a lot of horror cons coming up. We have like 8 of them lined up. I'm personally going to go to all of them, and our social media expert Allie Dilak, who's on here as well, she's going to be attending a couple of them as well to help out. She's handled all of our social media, been doing a great job. And yeah, so we're very excited. We want the theatrical experience. There is a bigger cost to it, but we believe in the film so much that we're willing to put that out there. So, and what you see in the trailer, I have to say, is it's not everything. There are things that we've been withholding. And it's just, I don't like it when trailers just give too much, and I'm like, oh, I don't need to see that anymore. I'm good. I know the whole movie. So I didn't want to have to ruin that experience for the horror fans or moviegoers in general. Because when that happens, it's just like, it just feels like you're just treading old water then when it's like too much is given in a trailer.
I think that's the most annoying thing for me is when they give too much in the trailer and you go see the movie, you're like, so I actually already saw this because I watched the trailer.
Or sometimes when you see a trailer and they put all the good stuff in the trailer, and then you go to the movie and it's like everything good that happened in the
Everything
movie.
else is flat.
Exactly. And there's your first question of the day there, Joe.
Yeah.
From James Michael Roddy. What is your writing process?
My writing process. Oh my God.
A bottle of
Let's
scotch.
get into it, Joe.
It was like a couple decades of not writing properly and not having I've had writing teachers, but it wasn't until I had one particular teacher that showed me like, here's the science behind it that I cracked the code. But with the Fetus in particular, it was 1 year, 45 drafts, until we got it to the point where I was testing it, testing, and then I would hire script consultants to test it on them. And we didn't go into production until they said, "Yeah, this is great, Joe. Like, there's nothing else you can fix here." Yeah. So
you have a certain writing strategy that you stick to, like the beat sheet, or is it just kind of a cherry picked, decision of all your, everything that you've learned from the writers around you and the feedback that you got?
Well, I would say I always like to have characters that start from a place where like they're in the dumps, you could say, so there's room to grow, because I see a lot of movies where it's like you can almost just swap out the characters for someone else, and it doesn't matter, right? There's no connection. There's nowhere to heal, nowhere to grow for these characters, So I like having the pain of characters and then seeing if they can overcome it or they're going to succumb to it. That's exciting to me.
Yeah, it's more relatable because none of us are perfect and we're all up and down. And so to be able to attach yourself, there's always like that one character that you attach yourself to that you relate to the most. So to be able to see that arc and, watch, from beginning to end, I definitely agree with that. When did you guys film this? When and where was this filmed?
Oh, we filmed it in Pennsylvania, Tafton and Scranton. Scranton is where they, have the Office location TV show. And it was 2 years ago. And then, and the same thing with my writing process. I did testing for the various drafts of editing. I don't know how many drafts of edits we've gone through. I am the editor, and we would test. We did 4 test screenings, and it got better and better. People loved it. And then it was determined that, they wanted more. So we were like, oh, we need to go back and write and film an extended ending.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we did that. Yeah, we had a green screen shoot last year in LA that we need to do because there's certain things we could not do on location that were impossible. We've had visual effects work done during that time. And then we filmed the extended ending this year in July. Yeah.
That's really fascinating. I have to give you a lot of credit. To do a project like this from beginning to end, it has its challenges, and we can get into that, and it has its process, and the care that you give it definitely shows in the end product. And it sounds like that you went above and beyond between, what you say, 40 something drafts and the test screenings and the different versions of edits. I have to applaud you for that, because it's not just rushing it and getting it out there. It's getting it to the point that exactly what's in your mind is delivered, and the artistry in that, and respecting the feedback of your peers in the industry and tweaking it in a way that you feel like that you've gotten what everybody wants. It's what you want, and it's what everybody wants to see for this. And there's just a lot of love that went into creating this, it sounds like, and I think that's going to really show in the film.
Somebody here is asking about if you have a shirt deal already for the Fetus.
A shirt deal. I mean, we literally just had our own shirts printed, but it's of the poster design. And so
it's a great poster, by the way. I love that.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's we've had a few people approach us for designing t-shirts, and we kind of just give them still frames of the movie, just to test out and see what they come up with. So we haven't signed a licensing deal with anyone yet. So and it's still early on.
Yeah. So you filmed it, you refilmed it. How long of a time frame from beginning to end was that for you? It sounds like you took your time, and I'm definitely interested in that.
I took my time because I asked myself like, why am I doing this? Right?
You're putting this out there.
Yeah, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this for other people, for the audience? And so every decision I would make, it's like, what's the best thing for the audience? Every single step of the way. It is harder, much harder than just, make a movie and just show it. Like I have some friends, they'll make a movie, don't show anybody, and then they'll put it out there, and I watch it and I'm like, oh, you could have done that, fixed that, and that, and then I'll never watch it again because of that.
But I think that's important for us to talk about here as filmmakers and artists and writers and directors and producers even, is that it is a process, and you should bring, other eyes and opinions in, because especially when you're so close to it and you're doing multiple jobs, sometimes it makes the decisions harder. Sometimes you think you've got it right. It's like an audition. Like I'll do an audition and I'll love it, and I might go back like a month later and watch it, be like, I wish I would have made a different choice there. And just getting the feedback from other creatives, you're allowing that energy in, and you can kind of cherry pick what you think is best for you, for the audience. But I think that's important to incorporate. I really think you did a good thing there, to be honest, because a lot of projects do get rushed. You're on a time frame. You have, executive producers who want it at a certain time, all these different variables. But to make the decision like, no, this is something that I'm going to take care of, and I'm going to put the best possible art out there. So, it means something to you forever. It's not just, here you go.
And I have somebody here that asks a question that I normally like to ask, so I'll let him ask it instead of me. You think this will bring a sequel?
Ooh.
Without giving anything away.
Gives it away.
It's a great question. There is room to grow from this. And I'm the type that, like, if I see a sequel, I want to see the characters evolve. Like I'm not sure it would be called like the Fetus 2. It might be like the Toddler. Right. So like, or like just an evolution, or following different characters or doing different things, not rehashing the same thing, because I'm a big fan of like, I rarely watch TV, but the shows that I like are like Breaking Bad, which is constantly changing and evolving, as the story goes along. And it's like the same character. Those characters are not the same from season 1 all the way to season 5.
Oh no, they've been through hell and back, and they've been forced to be somebody else through the environment and circumstances they've been through. One of the greatest TV series of all time.
Before I let the next question through here, let me ask you one from me, which is one that I always like to ask. And the reason I ask this, especially here, is because one of the films that when I was a kid, probably the one film that really scared me as a kid, which now I look back at it and I kind of laugh at myself, but back then it really got to me, was a movie called It's Alive, way back in the 70s, and that really got to me. So of course, seeing yours makes me reflect on that. So what was your inspiration for writing this particular story? What was it that triggered you that you wanted to bring this one to life?
Yeah, that's a great question, Rick. My initial thought was, if I'm going to make a horror movie, I want to do something I haven't seen before. And some of the movies that I love are like The Fly, The Thing, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I mean, there's transformations that's occurring. And I asked myself, what if that transformation, this thing that is you would consider evil, is actually growing inside of you? But there's something in the back of your mind that that it can come out and be good. So what are you going to do there, right? Even though it's endangering your life, but if you can get through this and push past it, is it worth the risk?
Well, and then you're also tapping into maternal instincts. And
I was just going to say that.
Chemical imbalances and hormone imbalances that make you think completely different when you're pregnant. When you're pregnant, you are not yourself. Everything is about that baby, and there are chemical changes, and I can totally see the mental struggle in that aspect, which makes it, tapping into that psychological aspect as well. The Terrible Twos.
Terrible Twos. It's a horror movie all by itself.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's a it's a sensitive subject matter, to be honest.
Yeah.
The issue with the pro-choice, pro-life debate. And we don't take sides in the movie. You have to go watch it and find out how it all plays out. But and that's part of why I wanted to take so much time on this, because there are characters are dealing with something that is meaningful to people in everyday lives. They'll be able to see a part of themselves and their beliefs, in the way these characters are.
Now, we have a lot of filmmakers and stuff like that listen to this show and watch this. And so we like to try and ask questions, thinking about it from a filmmaker's perspective. How was it when this first came up? How did you go about raising the funds? Was this something you just had a couple of executive producers for? Did you do the crowdfunding thing? How did that whole thing transpire?
Yeah. New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Okay.
Yeah. New Year's Eve. It's because, so I do real estate as well. That's where, the primary business that I have. So I was helping somebody because I was introduced to somebody who needed help with their real estate projects in various stages of renovation. I gave my advice and then, partnered and did rentals, as a property management person. And, I did such a good job, and I just said, hey, by the way, I have this, movie I'm working on. And then I actually showed like this website, I built out a whole website before anything was done. And I had these storyboards that I put into an Atomatic. And so it was like half the movie in storyboard drawings. I edited, I had narration, I had music. And so, because I knew that investors aren't going to read a screenplay, but they'll
love
watch
your attention to detail. It's so fun listening to all this.
So to me,
well, there's
like,
so much passion behind it,
Yeah. So I was throwing everything, into it. So somebody could look at it and say, this person, Joe, is going to go all the way.
I believe in it. They believe in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that's how, the first round of investment came. And then, it was $100,000 and then it went up after that. Then we had a couple of actors, an actor that came on and also invested and became another investor. I invested all of my fees back into it because of the visual effects, because of like the posters and merchandise and all these things. Because I believe in it. I care more about the audience delivering something so good for the audience, than like keeping my fee. My writer director fee, and I'm wearing like 8 to 10 hats, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
To save on the cost. So, because I'm also the editor, visual effects supervisor, and all of that. So, but yeah, and I just want this. I want people to experience it, and we've had people who've watched it in our inner circle, and they can watch it again, and again. And I don't tell them to watch it multiple times, but they love it so much. It's almost like if you're hearing your favorite song, you can always listen to it again, or your favorite comedy special, or this and that. I want this film to be something like that, where people want to experience it again and again, not just watch it once and go, oh yeah, what's next?
Joe, what's your favorite scary movie and why?
Exorcist.
There you go.
Why?
Exorcist, because it just felt so
scariest
real.
movie of all time.
I'm telling you, for a movie made back in the 70s, there's people today that still won't watch it.
And I was a kid. I've seen it once. I don't need to see it again. Like I have no desire to see it again. It freaked me out that bad. So, yeah.
There you go. Made an impression.
Says here, do you wake up at night with thoughts and ideas and write it down? Do you dream about your stories? And that's a good question. That's one good thing because I tell Amy about this all the time.
We were just talking about this a few days ago.
Yeah. I'll sometimes be dreaming and have a story concept in my dream, and I'll get up and I'll write it down. I'll jot it down. And my process is, if I get an idea, I'll jot it down, add whatever I can to it, kind of formulate maybe like a little bit of a mini synopsis, and then I'll put it in a folder on my computer and let it sit there. until it gestates some more or until I come back to it or whatever. I've probably got 60 or 70 folders of everything from just a basic synopsis to half of a script and everything else until the time is right, you know? So
it was yesterday morning that I called you first thing. I was like, I gotta write this down. I've always had little ideas and snippets, but this is one of those dreams that I was dreaming. It was a really terrifying dream and I was living it. And then I woke up like once or twice in the night, and every time I fell back asleep, I picked back up. And it was some of the best sleep that I think I've gotten in like a year. Like I was zonked out. I was hardcore REM. Like I was in it. And when I woke up in the morning, nothing was foggy. It's still fresh in my brain. And I shit you not, it's a beginning to end feature film that I watched in my dream. And I'm going to have to write it. But Joe, what the hell happens to you when you sleep?
I love when that happens. You just see the whole thing. It's like another
clear.
life.
Like normally you kind of forget stuff and it's foggy. Like I could tell the whole thing right now. I'm not going to. But what about you? What's your dreams like?
Oh, my dreams. I mean, I don't pull my screenplays from my dreams. What I do is I look and I see, you know, what's going on with society, and I ask myself, like, what is it that people need, and that way I remove myself, and I'm trying to be a conduit for whatever's coming through in the world, the society, the consciousness. And because my next film, I'm planning it to be a sci-fi action thriller. Ooh. And it's about the criminal justice system and creating an alternative for that. And so I plan to go through as many different industries as possible, and seeing what the issues are and what kind of stories can come about.
Gotcha. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Relevant, but finding the holes.
So are you a true horror fan, or are you somebody that just loves and just are delving into the horror genre right now?
Yeah, you cut in and out a little bit. I think you asked, am I a true horror fan? I mean, I've seen a ton of horror. Yeah.
But I mean, some people, that's all they think about. There is nothing else.
Gotcha. No, he's got a whole other project coming up that's sci-fi.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I love storytelling. That's, that's where I come from, and the horror films that I do like, when they're deep, meaningful, and they hit more than just on the surface. That's what I love, because it's like going deep into me, if that makes any sense. Like it's not just like the visual senses that it's stimulating, but I like the transformation that occurs inside of me when I'm watching a really good horror film that affects me in that way.
I can relate to that.
All right. Well, before we get any further, because we're going to be starting nearing the end of the show here soon, do you want to go ahead and do this little bit of a giveaway here?
Yeah. So I actually had Allie who helped me out here.
Okay, Allie's killing it on the socials. Everybody give a shout out and a round of applause to Allie. This girl. I told Rick, I said, this is the best marketing I've seen.
Well, and I have to share how we connected, which is, Allie asked, like, hey, I'd like to know what's going on with the fetus. She sent me a message. She says, I've been following it. And I'm like, okay, because I just quit cold turkey on social media to focus on wrapping the movie.
Job. People don't realize it's a really big job.
It is. It's tough. Like I could barely even look at it sometimes. But when I looked into like her profile and I saw that she actually had a page for Sienna from Terrifier.
Oh, cool.
She was like, literally was the first Facebook fan page for that character. And I was like, well, are you interested in doing it for the fetus, this movie? And she was like, oh, really? And I was like, let me send you the movie.
Oh,
so
wow.
She got to watch it. She said she watched it like 5 times.
That's what it's like, for her,
Yeah. So that's
a true fan, and she gets
how it happened. Yeah. So she's been great. So
and now she gets to be a part of another another film that involves Lauren Lever and help you out. But no, she's incredible with marketing. I tell Rick all the time, like, I can't even look at social media anymore today. I love it. I love connecting. I love that it gives us the power and the tools to get the information out there and to connect with, the indie horror community, and to, find people like you who have incredible stories to tell and bring them on. But it is a full-time job. So shout out to Allie. You're killing it, girl.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So
yeah, into the giveaway.
Allie picked the winner using her randomized process. She has some system that she puts the names in, and you have to have liked both the Fetus film and the indie horror pages. So if you haven't done that, please do so. And she did pick a winner already. So we'll get a little drum roll. I don't know how to. And the winner is for the signed movie poster of the Fetus and the signed magazine Indie Horror Junkie, Ethan Flavin.
There we go. Ethan Flavin, claim your prize.
That's right. Ethan even has a comment here. So.
Which is a really cool prize, by the way. Very, very cool poster. A great shot of Lauren. Love her expression on that. Hey, look at this.
He just chimed in.
Been watching the whole time. So, and then of course the magazine, which has a really, really great write-up of the featured article for the Fetus. You can definitely get some behind the scenes photos on that, some insight into the film. And it's also got a ton of other incredible indie horror projects that are out and about and on the rise right now. So everybody has a little bit of something in the magazine, but congratulations, Ethan. Very, very cool.
Yeah. And I do have to mention, we are at Days of the Dead
this weekend.
This weekend. We literally have 7 or 8 other cons throughout the country. And we have our first advanced screening for the public this time. So if you are in the Las Vegas area, and unfortunately there is a wait list now. We are at overcapacity, but there is a chance that there are no shows. So if you are interested in joining, just go to thefetusfilm.com. That's again, thefetusmovie.com. Thefetusmovie.com. You can sign up. It is happening in 2 days, and we're gonna have a great time. There's giveaways for every attendee as well there. So.
And this is going to be a huge weekend, you guys. I'm kind of having a little bit of FOMO. I told Rick this. I wish I could go this weekend in Vegas, but we have Tampa Bay Screams here in our hometown, and we got to represent because you have your film there. We have tons of friends in the business that are going to be there. And there's also the fan screening of Screamboat, which is happening as well. So you're going to have the perfect crowd there to check this film out. And I know you're going to get some amazing feedback, but that's going to be a great weekend for you. It's too bad that we didn't get a hold of you before all the MegaCon planning we have going on, because that's going to be huge in February. I wish we could get you down here for that, but it sounds like that you're busy and locked and loaded with the cons. But if you make your way down to Florida, let us know, because we love going to all the horror conventions here.
Send me the dates. Yeah, so let me see if it falls within my between the cons. And I do have to mention that this Friday, Bill Moseley is going to be there for the Q&A after the screening.
Ooh.
That's so cool. Yeah. I mean, come on, you guys. If you're there, show up.
Absolutely.
Just show up. Don't cheat yourself out of this experience. That's really, really cool.
We're going to have Chris from Scarecrows there.
Chris from Scarecrows. Scarecrows is a huge supporter of indie horror. He has Scarecrows Halloween store, kind of up near where you guys filmed The Fetus, I want to say. It's not too far from Lauren's hometown. She does appearances there. David Howard Thornton and Damian Leone just did a big appearance there, but they carry our magazine in the store, and he's going to be there as well. So if you see a Scarecrows booth, go say hi to our buddy Chris there, because he's a huge supporter of all indie horror. And they actually do a lot of the licensing and merchandising for Terrifier streams. So they're just really in deep with everything that's going on. So he's going to be there. Make sure you say hi to him. And like I said, tons of friends in the industry. They're going to be there for an amazing weekend. So if you guys can go, get out there. I wish I was going.
And he has copies of issue number 14 that he'll have there too. That has the Fetus in it.
That's rock. Mm-hmm. Yep. So everybody's headed there with some indie horror junkie magazines. But yeah, if you can sneak in, Go check this film out, you guys. And where else can everybody find you? You've, like I said, you guys are great on social. So if you guys aren't following them on Instagram and Facebook, and tell us where else, and your website, so we can stay connected, we can follow, we can see what you're doing next.
Yeah, every site is the Fetus Film. So whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, it's all the Fetus Film. Even our website.
Is it the Fetus Film or the Fetus Movie?
The Fetus Film. We have both. We have the fetusfilm.com and the fetusmovie.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're doing different things. So like later on, we're going to switch the fetusmovie.com to this big giveaway prize that if people buy pre-sale tickets for the movie, the theatrical screening, you have a chance to win a big prize. So we haven't announced it yet, so it is coming. It's a big dollar amount. So
let us know and tag us in it so we can reshare it and help you get the word out there. We can plug it on the podcast when it gets closer to that time. I'll definitely be on the lookout for that.
Is that Allie hard at work again?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm telling you guys, like, somebody hire her from Indie Horror Junkie. Hello.
You.
Girl is great.
Yeah, exactly. Allie, message us. I have a question to ask you then, Joe.
Yeah.
As a filmmaker myself, you said this is going to be the first time it's going to be screened for the public this weekend?
Yes.
And you're going to be in attendance, of course, right?
Yes.
So tell me, are you nervous? Or is this just like, I'm good?
Tell you, right?
I would be excited. I feel like you've already made it through.
Well, that's what I'm kind of curious. Some people are so scared and nervous because this is going to be the first time somebody outside of friends, family, or people associated with it are seeing it. So some people are like a nervous wreck and can't even be in the room. Other people are like, I'm so excited. I have all the confidence in the world. I can't wait to show this to everybody. Let's get in there and watch it. So I'm curious to see what your thoughts are.
How you feeling, Joe?
I stay neutral.
Okay.
Because one, I need to keep my ego in check. I need to stay humble, and I need to listen to the audience feedback.
I love all that.
That's the key, because again, this goes back to the audience. If there was a major problem that everybody is saying with the film, which I doubt, because based on what we've done before, I need to be aware of that and listen to that. So
very cool.
Well, I definitely, like I said before, lots of respect for all the love, attention, and detail that you're giving this project. I personally love to see that. I go a little cuckoo whenever I see too much being thrown out there and there's just it's not taken care of. Like, take care of it. This is your baby, no pun intended, but it is. And before we go, because we have a few more minutes, can we talk a little bit about the practical special effects? Because that's one of my favorite aspects of filmmaking. And I've been on social, so I've seen the fetus and I've seen the umbilical cords. And who was your artist on that? And, without spoiling it, what can you tell us about all the practical special effects?
His name is Alex Rojas. He lives in Colombia, Bogota, Colombia. I literally flew out there to pick up personally all of the creatures and practical effects. Well,
Allie may have flown out there,
and it got lost. Oh my God, we would have been done because we were set to film for 3 weeks in Pennsylvania, so there was no chance in risking it. So yeah, I flew out there myself, literally met his whole team, picked it up, and then went right back to the hotel.
Was that your first time in Colombia?
First time in Colombia. Yeah. So, and
everybody give a round of applause for this man.
But he's a 2-time Colombian Academy Award winner. It's the equivalent of the Oscars that he won the award twice back to back for horror movies. And we lucked out getting him because the work is so phenomenal. Everything you see in this film is a practical creature effect.
Yeah, I saw that on your social. So you guys seriously head over and check it out. That's, one of my favorite aspects of horror filmmaking is the practical special effects, because it's another artistry that needs a lot of love and care and attention. And you guys, it looks like you're really nailing it. Full circle.
Yeah, well, I do have to say that we did enhance where we needed to with visual effects, Well,
yeah, that's what VFX are for, and we love those guys too.
Yeah. I never wanted to just completely do VFX. Like that's just, you know what I mean? But sometimes there's a blend there and sometimes there isn't. And hopefully nobody notices.
Well, it sounds like you have an eye for it because you said you're also supervising the VFX as well. So you definitely did wear multiple hats, which is what we love about, bringing people like you on, that we can get down to the nitty gritty of what it is like to make a film, because it's not easy and there's so much that goes into it. And you guys are pouring your heart and your souls and your hearts and your ideas and your intentions and messages out into the world. And everything I've gathered from you tonight is it's with meaning and purpose and passion, and that it's not just for you and it's not about ego. It is about the audience and connecting and allowing them to attach themselves to a character in a story that's relevant, but also twisted, which makes it really enjoyable. So congratulations to you.
The last thing I want to mention, because I sent this to Ricky. Happy to send this to you as well.
Hey, as long as it's not the one from the film that breaks.
And so for those of you just listening, I'm holding up the Fetus condom box. It's just three FDA approved condoms inside this Fetus box I designed it myself. I designed everything myself.
Of course you did. Another hat. Grab some more hats and put them on, Joe.
Except for the poster. I did not design the poster. So
Joe King, looking forward to the film. Was a pleasure listening. Joe's great. He's a big supporter of indie horror Junkie. He's actually one of the judges of our film festival. So he's a lot of fun. And
really... Joe Castro?
Oh, no, that was Joseph King.
Joe King. Yeah. Joe Castro will be at the film festival as well, though. We're honoring him with a Lifetime Achievement Award. So he's going to be there. He's going to be hanging out all weekend. We're screening Mutilator 2 on Friday night, which he did all the practical special effects on. He's going to be doing a live demo on Sunday. So, I'm telling you, if you can make it down, come hang out. It's a weekend of just back-to-back indie horror films, premieres, networking, panels, Q&As, photo ops, you name it.
And the special guest they have there is insane. They just added today. They just added Mel Gibson is going to be a special.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yes. It's just nuts.
Wow.
The lineup is insane. It's at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, and as huge as it is, with last year over 250,000 attendees.
No way.
Picture this, Joe. We only take up half of the convention center, and that's how big it is. If you go all week, at the 4 days, I still don't think you would get to see and do everything that they have there.
Are they all sold out on booths? Do you know?
I would think by now they probably are, because it's next month is the event. But I can definitely reach out to my content if you're interested. But we're going to have our own little section. We've got a 300-seat theater. Joe Castro is going to be doing the
350-seat theater.
Right. Joe Castro is going to be doing a special effects demo outside. We're going to have the people from Screamboat, some of the producers from Terrifier and everything are going to be there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if there's any chance you could come out there, as a matter of fact, I was going to ask you if it's okay. We can show your trailer during the event as well.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
I will add it to the mix.
I didn't know about this event. So yeah, let's connect offline. I want to hear more about it because we couldn't get a booth at CreepyCon, which is Creep IE Con, which is in 2 weeks in Ontario, California. But we became a sponsor there, so we're gonna have pregnant models giving out condoms and stuff like that. And
I love that. The condom that didn't work.
Okay. All right. Well, what we're going to do now, we got about a minute or so before we're going to cut it off. So I'm going to take you off stage, but hang out for a minute. We're going to close out the show real quick. And as soon as we end it, we'll come back and we can chat offline. All right.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, Joe.
Thank you for coming on.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Oh, man, that was
I
awesome.
looked down and saw 1:45. I'm like, my God, where'd this time go? What a great show. And we had so many comments.
It's already 9 o'clock. You guys definitely check them out at That Fetus on all social media platforms. They've got great behind the scenes photos, information. You can keep up what they're doing. His next appearance is going to be this weekend at Days of the Dead Vegas. If you're close by, go check it out. Check out IndieHorrorJunkie.com. Pick up issue number 14 of the magazine. We've got Screamboat on the cover. We got Anastasia Elfman in the center talking all about what it's like to be an artist of one of a kind. I have to say that about her. And of course, the featured article on the Fetus horror film coming up this year, 2025. So check it out. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. And as the Fetus film
And thank
said,
you, Allie.
Allie, thank you guys for stopping by.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody. See you guys next week.
All right.